Upon first glance, one of the seemingly most difficult costumes to obtain in Mario Maker 2 is the peapod shirt, requiring 100 super expert level endless clears. While to the many this may seem very difficult since these are super hard levels, and you only have 30 lives to do 100 of them. However, today I've got two techniques that turn this from being very difficult to actually being one of the easier costumes to obtain in Mario Maker 2. But with that being said, let's jump into two techniques on how to easily get 100 super expert level clears and unlock the peapod shirt. Now this first method is by far the easiest of the two. However, to do this you do need 2 switches and 2 copies of Mario Maker 2. Now I can't take full credit for this idea since part of it was thought up by CTV, so a link to this channel will be in the description. You can also see him on number 7 on the leaderboards with 300 super expert clears, so you know that this is a pretty good strategy. This is the current technique I'm using and it's working like a charm. So what you want to do is start a super expert endless run on your main switch, and before each level starts, the level ID will come on screen, so take a screenshot of it. Then type the ID onto the other switch while having the level paused on the main switch. Practice the level on the second switch until you feel comfortable enough to do it on the main one. If the level is too hard, then skip it and try another ID. Now what type of level should you try to avoid? Well, I suggest avoiding speedruns and especially Kaizos, as both of those are very hard and easy to rapidly lose lives. Speaking of lives, you're also going to want to find levels that give you multiple 1-ups, so that just in case that you do die in the main switch, you do have an opportunity to get some more. One final type of level to avoid are really long ones. I'd say 3 minutes and up. However, don't go by the world record time. Go by the creator's time under more info, as that will be more accurate. You'd actually be surprised with how many easy levels are actually in Super Expert, as a lot of times people will die once then skip it, causing it to be classified as super hard. Now this technique does make it easy, but it does take a long time. I've found that it takes about 15 minutes per level for me, however depending on skill and luck it could be shorter or longer. As of now, I haven't gotten 100 yet for this video, because I wanted to get this video out, but right now I'm at level 20 with 47 lives left, whereas before I could only get 8 with a total of 30, so this technique definitely works. Now the downside to this technique is of course requiring 2 switches and 2 copies of Mario Maker 2. My suggestion would be asking someone you know if you could borrow their Switch for say like a weekend. Then during that weekend you can do this challenge, and it should only take you about the 2 days of the weekend. It really shouldn't take you much longer than that if that's all you're doing that day, so then you can give it right back to them right after. Now what if you don't have access to 2 switches? Well, there is another technique, and while I personally haven't tried it, this is much faster but a bit more difficult. So this technique is just skip so many levels. You're going to want to skip until you find one that you believe to be an easy level. Again, I would avoid what I said earlier from the other technique being speedruns, Kaizos, and long levels. Usually, if a level hasn't been beaten yet, I find those to actually be the easiest ones, as usually that's because someone died once and then skipped it. Also, just saying, speedruns, Kaizos, and long levels aren't bad levels. They're just not good for this challenge. Here's the IDs of the levels I've played on screen. These are not bad levels, these are actually pretty good, so I highly suggest you checking them out as well. Now, you'll need to skip thousands upon thousands of levels, and this technique is much more luck-based than the other one. I can't personally speak for how effective it is, but seeing as all the top players use it, and they have thousands of levels beaten, then it probably works. However, I still suggest using the 2 switch method if you can, as that's a lot safer, and it's a lot easier. But anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you all use this technique, and if it's successful, make sure to let me know in the comments, as so far only 33 people have 100 levels beaten as of now. But either way, if you liked this video, then I'd greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like and subscribe, as it would help me a huge bunch. Make sure to check out CTV for helping me create the first technique. Also, I recently had my first ever YouTube collab over on a fellow Nintendo YouTuber's channel, Reese. The video is about the 5 game styles we want in Mario Maker 2, so we'd greatly appreciate it if you go and check it out. Link is also in the description. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.